Welcome to the Historical Scrutiny Channel, where we explore military history with a sharp and detailed perspective. Today, we will learn about the first mass-produced tank by the United States, the M1917, a machine that is both a technical landmark and a symbol of a turning point in World War I. In 1917, when World War I was at its peak, the United States had just entered the war. Amidst the smoke and hot steel, a new weapon appeared, the tank. However, at that time, the American Army did not have one. And that is when the story of the M1917, the first tank made by the United States, began. American generals soon recognized the effectiveness of British and French tanks on the battlefield. In particular, the French Renault FT-17 model impressed them with its compact design, 360-degree rotating turret, and maneuverability in muddy terrain. Soon after entering the war, the United States decided to produce a similar version based on the FT-17, called the M1917. The US government signed a contract to build more than 4,000 of them, hoping to quickly get them to the European battlefield. But what seemed like a simple task turned out to be a huge challenge for the fledgling industry. The M1917 was a modified copy of the FT-17, but the US had to convert the entire design from metric to inch, a seemingly small step that seriously slowed down progress. 3 companies were assigned the task: Van Dorn Iron Works, Maxwell Motor Company, and C.L. Best Company. The Renault engine was replaced by a Buda 4-cylinder, the exhaust pipe was moved to the left, and the hull armor was reinforced. The weight of the tank reached about 6.5 tons. The maximum speed was almost 8 kilometers per hour. The crew consisted of 2 people, driver and commander. The main weapon was a 37mm cannon or a 7.62mm machine gun. Although a huge order was placed, the war was over by the time the first M1917s were completed and leaving the factory. Only 2 arrived in France in November 1918, a few days after the armistice was signed. The M1917 never saw combat. Instead, it was used in training schools in the United States, with a few serving in riot suppression in the 1920s. A number were later transferred to Canada for training before World War II. Although it did not see combat, the M1917 was the first milestone in American tank manufacturing. Through errors, delays, and technical lessons, the Americans developed an independent armored weapon production capacity. The M1917 also laid the foundation for later designs, such as the M2 Light Tank, M3 Stuart, and M4 Sherman, true icons of World War II. Today, fewer than 3 dozen M1917s survive in museums, but they still tell a story: the rise of American engineering in the age of mechanized warfare. From borrowed design to founding symbol, the M1917 is proof that every machine has a story about the people, about aspirations, and about the times in which it was born. If you love war history and want to discover more stories behind the steel machines, click here, like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Which tank do you think was the real turning point for America? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.